Hello Prep1, today we'll take new lesson unit 4, congruence. Naming, comparing polygons. List vertices in order either clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, for example, for this polygon, we start D, C, B, A, E. When comparing two polygons, begin at a corresponding vertices, name the vertices in order, and go in the name direction. For this polygon, I, J, K, P, H. يبقى start from I, go the same directions اللي هو ايه L, J, K, P, H. Then by doing this you can identify corresponding parts. D corresponds to L. D corresponding to L. AE corresponding to H, to BH. هنا AE corresponding to BH. Okay. Name corresponding parts. Name all the angles that corresponds D, C, B, A, E to corresponding polygon I, J, K, P, H. Then D corresponding to I. C corresponding to J. And B corresponding to K. A corresponding to P. E corresponding to H. Okay. Name all the segments that correspond. All the segments يعني DC corresponded to IJ, CB corresponded to CB corresponded to JK. طيب BA corresponded to KB. AE corresponds to PH. ED corresponds to HI. How many corresponding angles are there? 5. A corresponding angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 corresponding angles. How many corresponding sides are there? How many corresponding sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 5 corresponding sides and 5 corresponding angles. Then how many side can you name pentagon? D, C, B, A, E. 10. Do it. Pick a vertex and go clockwise. Pick a vertex and go counterclockwise. D, C, B, A, E. أهي start D, C, B, A, E. C, B, A, E, D. B, A, E, D, C, or A, E, D, C, B, or E, D, C, B, A. Now a vertex and go counter clockwise وهنا go clockwise. هنا مع clockwise وهنا opposite of clockwise اللي هو هنا ايه D the opposite direction D E A B C or C D E A B or B C D E A B or A B C D E E A B C D. This is a counterclockwise. This is go with clockwise. How many ways can you name pentagon? How many ways? Sorry, it's not how many ways can you name pentagon? طيب, do you remember how many sides in the pentagon? Huh? How many sides in the pentagon? 5. I ask you. The number side of pentagon 5. But how many ways can you name the pentagon? 10 ways. 5 ways and A5. 5 and 5. 10 ways to can be named the pentagon. DCBAE. Fine. Polygon congruence. If each pair of corresponding angles is a congruent and each pair of corresponding sides is a congruent, then the two polygons are congruent. Okay, يبقى لازم يكون ايه each pair of corresponding angles and congruent و each pair of corresponding side, corresponding angle and corresponding sides. طيب, congruence statements. Given these polygons are congruent, remember, if they are congruent, they are exactly the same. That means that all of the corresponding angles are congruent and all the corresponding sides are congruent. Okay? Don't say that all the sides are congruent and all the angles are congruent because they are not. Congruence statements. Okay, congruence statement. A, B, C, D, okay, congruent with E, F, G, H. Again, prep 1. The conditions to congruent, a polygon of congruent, if each pair of corresponding angles is congruent and each pair of corresponding side is congruent, then the two polygons are congruent. Okay? Congruence statements, and these polygons are congruent. Remember, if they are congruent, they are exactly the same. Exactly the same meaning what? And that means that all of the corresponding angles are the congruent and all the corresponding sides are congruent. Okay, all corresponding angles are congruent and all corresponding sides are congruent. Fine. Don't say that all the sides are congruent and all the angles are congruent because they are not. Okay, congruence statement. ايه بقى بنكتب congruence statement A, B, C, D congruent with E, F, G, H. Okay, now this is the end of our lesson. Thank you for good listening. Prep 1.